right, so we got the first real snowstorm, and we're gonna have to do some snow blowing with the John Deere here. We'll see how this windscreen does. It's about 30 gusts up to 40 miles an hour, so we got a decent amount of wind going on. And I'm gonna play around with the whiteness level too, so we don't get too much brightness. We'll see how we do with that. But I think it's about 3 inches of snow. It started off as like a sleet. It's all real heavy, wet snow, very packy. And like I said, I think I measured about 3 inches or so. And it's supposed to be windy all the rest of the day, but I think the storm part of it is over now. Further north, they got, I think, somewhere between, I don't know, 8+ inches of snow. I know there's a lot of outages out that way. There's a few power outages near us, but we still have power, so that's good. So I'll get some shoveling, some spots shoveled out here so I can get into the shed, and then we will get the snowblower fired up and go from there. All right, so I got it cleared out a little bit. Let's get going here and clear this out. Hopefully this goes pretty easy. Alright, so that's one driveway down. We'll set up for the other one. I got a couple of thoughts I'm going to share at the end of this video, just about the machine and how it's going so far. But you can tell here there's a lot of like slush underneath this snow. Some of it you can peel if you angle the blower down. The stuff that's packed down from driving on or walking on, you can peel that up, but there's always going to be just a little bit of this slush left behind. I just don't have enough wear yet in those shoes on the side. So we'll get set up here and we'll do the other driveway. Okay, so we're done for now. I will do some touch-ups later once the wind hopefully dies down. So a couple thoughts since I've been using this machine now. First of all, I'm a little nervous with this machine with the 47-inch blower. When I first used it, I could kind of hear the engine lug down, which was weird. I'm like, well, the gas didn't seem to really lug until you got into some really heavy stuff, and then like the whole operation would slow down. This one, you'll hear the engine lug down, and then when you really get in the heavy stuff, it'll lug down a lot, but nothing slows down. It's like you keep pushing snow, which is kind of, to me, a little scary, because I'm thinking we're probably going to twist off some of those shear bolts in the blower. This machine seems like it's got plenty of power to push that 47 blower. The 738 with the gas, that one would definitely lug down, and like I said, once it would lug, then you know, everything slowed down. The blower seemed to slow down with speed, and then you'd have to slow down and let it kind of catch up. This thing, there is no slowing down for catching up. You just keep pushing and then it just keeps going. The motor will lug, but that doesn't change the amount of power or torque. It just keeps pushing. So I'm kind of wondering if a 54-inch blower would be better suited for a machine of this type of power or torque, I guess. We'll see. I mean, this was some pretty heavy wet snow, and I was blowing stuff that was already blown, so it was really packed. So we'll see how that goes. The one thing I don't like about this machine, it is super noisy. Usually when I would do the blowing with the 738, I just have like a ski mask, hat, maybe a hood, and it wasn't too loud. And that's what I got on today. And my ears are just ringing, so I'm definitely gonna have to wear hearing protection blowing snow. So I'll have to figure out how that's gonna work, because that'll be a little different. This thing is definitely noisier, a lot more noise, a lot more decibels than the gas version. And you may have noticed I only have 3 weights on here. The rest of my weights are out at the land with the 3025E. I was meaning to pick up 3, and I called yesterday just to see. And the large dealership that I don't buy anything from anymore, they told me they didn't have anything in stock at any of their locations, any type of weights. He recommended a hardware store that sold John Deere. He heard that they still had some weights in stock. The dealer that's an hour away from me where I bought this machine, he checked and he said, I have 10 left here. And after that, he's like, I'm not sure when we're getting any more in. So a little bit of a supply chain issue there. One last thing, I checked just to see how hot these hoses get here, because this is all black from the exhaust and there's not a lot of clearance. The gas exhaust came out the same spot, but I don't know, I was just nervous because the bracket was never black until I had this Yanmar. So I checked them and they didn't get hot or anything like that, so that should be fine. So that's just one thing to check. This bracket you could probably bend up a little bit too. I mean, it's pretty flexible, so if you wanted to bend it up a little bit higher, you may have clearance issues though then with your hood if you open it. But other than that, seems like it does the job fine. Only had to kick in the diff lock once there, and that was because of the blowing the repack snow on the lawn. Oh, one other thing. So if you saw the trailer too, that's not my trailer. I'll do a separate video on that, and hopefully with some insights. So other than that, this is going to be it for now.